Hey YouTube, AJ here, and it's been a while, mainly because I had to go back to Ohio and meet my new grandson. This is JJ, and he was born in the beginning of July. He is my first and only grandchild at this point, and he is super adorable. Love him. Anyway, went back home to be there for his birth, visit with my family, and spend time with him. And so yeah, been trying real hard to get out videos every 10 days, but that's kind of tough right now, but because of just work, travel, and now this. But it's a good reason not to be on time, I guess. Anyway, this is going to be a skateboarding video. My shoulder is 95–98% healed. My rotator cuff feels good. I'm ready to start skating again. However, I'm still a little scared. Don't want to fall, don't want to take another slam on that. And I'm tired of just rolling around on flat ground. So I want to build an obstacle that I can play on with some degree of safety. Something that's not super hazardous, I guess, and something that's still fun. So here's what we got going on. I scored this big pile of shiplap, so we're going to use that. I've got some other stuff in here. You can see some coping. We're not going to use that today. Got some 2x8s, not using that today. Got some 2x6s, we are using those today. And 2x4s, we're using one of those. And I've got this piece of faux marble countertop. And you can see I've waxed it and tested it to make sure it grinds. But we're gonna use this long skinny piece of this stuff. And we're gonna build kind of a ride-on Slappy-ish ledge. Does that make sense? 4-inch wide ledge. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be something I can skate without too much risk of killing myself and re-injuring my arm. All right, let's get to it. Now the first thing I'm gonna do is cut all my long boards to the same length as my piece of marble, which is 91 3/8 inch. So I want all these to be the same length because they're gonna run the same length as the marble. All right, before I go too far, I should mention that all this wood I got off what's called the cull cart at Home Depot. Basically, it's pieces of wood that got damaged or cut wrong, whatever, but it's 70–75% off. And you can get a lot of wood, good wood, cheap. So I got all this shiplap, so I'm gonna use that for my sides. 2x4, it's a little warped, but we can fix that. It's definitely not unusable. That'll straighten out, I believe. So no problem there. Got these pieces here. They were, if you can see on here, they were free. So, you know, I get a lot of stuff free off the cull cart as well. If you go in and tell them what you're doing, especially if you talk to the manager of the lumber department, you tell them what you're doing, you know, they're generally pretty nice, and they'll like, yeah, you can just have that one, you know, whatever. Anyway, now, since we got all our long pieces cut here, we're gonna go ahead and start laying out our cross sections. And this will be the main supports of the whole ledge. And we're gonna need, probably, this is almost 8 foot long, so 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. So we're gonna need 5 or 6 of these. So to design these cross spans, I cut 2 pieces of the shiplap off because I'm going to be overlapping them. And I honestly haven't decided which side I'm going to use. One side's smooth and a little slick. I think I'm going to use the rougher side with the ribs in it for 2 reasons. One, it's not as slick, and I think it'll give me better ride-on ability. Plus it's got these little grooves in it that'll probably make a cool sound when you ride up it, like a boom. So, you know, maybe we'll just do that for fun. Anyway, so I cut these 2 little pieces so I could use them as a marker here. And we're going to be using this 2x4 as the main spine. So we're going to put that into here as well. So I'm just kind of eyeballing out my layout here. Okay. think we're going to go with that angle. It's pretty mellow. I think we're just going to go ahead and sink this all the way in. Okay. Now we got to match this angle on this side,
which should be 7 1/8. That's 7 and, alright, so that's 6 and 7 eighths. Oh yeah, I read this backwards, 6 and 7 eighths. Alright, so we gotta go 6 and 7 eighths from here.
Okay, so the idea is this will get cut out, this will get cut out, we'll have this piece here, we'll cut another one out of this end, because once we cut this, that'll be the same angle as here, so we can just rotate it and do it again. We'll cut this one, use it as our template to mark the rest. So let's go ahead and start cutting this out. All right, because my power miter saw won't go far enough out, and I don't want to cut these all by hand, I'm going to remark these at the max distance of the blade here, or the maximum angle I can have. Yeah, we're just going to go for it. Mark it up as we go. We'll make our first one based off maximum width, and then go from there. Alright, as you can see, it moved everything over. That's fine. We do need to remark though. Where's my, it's behind me. This marker. Okay, so now we're gonna cut out this part, leave that part. And now, and to cut these out, I'm going to take a drill bit and drill these corners first. Alright, now we'll just take our jigsaw and cut these out. I should also mention that you don't necessarily need all the power tools to do this. You can do all this kind of stuff by hand, but I have power tools, so I'm going to use them. Alright, so now hopefully you can see what we're making. These are just the supports, and then they'll go in like that, and then the marble piece will go on top of this, and then the shiplap will go on these sides. So let's go ahead and mark out more of these. Okay, so GoPro died, had a heat stroke. But I went ahead and cut all my braces here, my center supports, and now you can see kind of what I got in mind here. So now I want to space these out evenly. This is 91 3/8. Divide that by 5 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you get roughly 18 1/4.
Because I'm not doing this exact math, it's going to be a little bit bigger span in the center, but that'll be fine.
That's fine. So I'm going to put some wood glue in these and then screw them in. All right, we're all glued up and screwed up, and now we got to figure out how to attach this shiplapping. And I did decide to go with the rough side out. I like that idea. So basically, I want it to go all the way to the ground, and then the second piece will come up here, cut it off even. But I think what I want to do is cut the bottom of this first at a 45, That way this edge will be less likely to break off. Okay, so we got our 45 cut on there. Feel better about that. Now we got to cut our top piece to fit. And to do that, I'm just going to scribe a line on this test piece. See how that looks at the other places. Yeah, we're going to 45 it. Got a bunch of weight on here to hold it down flat while I put on the boards. That'll help everything hold its shape. This is going to be a couple step process. We're going to put glue on here. Then we're going to drill. I guess let's start by drilling the first couple. Get those in position, and then we're going to work from the center out. That way we can force the in. Finish that and do the other side before we start the top layer. Okay, so that's the bottoms. I'm going to put the tops on pretty much the same way, except for I'm going to glue this entire seam here, as well as, you know, where it mounts onto the inner supports. So let's get to that. Okay, it's essentially built. We need to attach our marble to the top though, which I don't really have a good way of attaching marble other than I'm going with construction adhesive. Let's get to gluing. Okay, there it is. Only thing to do now is to let it dry and cure, and once it's cured, we can try riding it. Okay, it is the next day. We're cured, so technically we're ready to start trying to skate this thing. But before we do that, I want to do something to kind of make it easier to move around. Got a set of cheap wheels and trucks, Walmart board, and we're going to screw these on the ends. So one end you could grab it as a handle, lift it up, and then hopefully roll it. So. Alright. Okay, it's officially done except for decorating. You know, stickers, paint, whatever. For now, we're gonna let it go like this. But we do need, this end's not waxed yet, so we do need some more wax. Well, I think the only thing left to do now is try to skate it. All right, so let's take a look at it real quick here. Number one, it is steeper than I had originally intended. I wanted this to be more mellow. However, I think the steepness of it will actually make it a lot more fun for me in the long run once I get used to this. Hopefully this won't be too hard for me to conquer. It's low enough that once I get my ollies back up to normal, I should be able to ollie up onto it. So that's good for me. I think I can use this for nose slides, board slides, grinds, that kind of stuff. We're not gonna get crazy yet. Let's just see what we got here. All right, for our first test run, that's acceptable. I think we need to get a helmet and maybe some pads before we really try it out. Okay, here's the deal. I'm not gonna do a lot on it today. I'm just gonna test it out. I'm not putting on full pads. Hopefully that won't bite me in the butt. But just wanna kinda try it out, see if we need to make any changes. But I'll be making a longer video of me trying to ride and learn some tricks on it later, hopefully this week. Before we do that, I think I need to put a little bit of inspiration on here. Gotta admit, I'm a little nervous because, like I said, it's steeper than I planned. Nothing to do but get to it. We're gonna go at it easy. We're not gonna try to get right up on top first. We're just gonna try to ride on its side and try to just get used to hitting it and see what happens. Okay. All right, I already like backside better. It's the most skating I've actually done in 6 months. My knee is already not happy. All right, I fell a little bit on my right side, kind of scary. I did get this wheel up onto the marble though. I don't know, I kind of think I need full pads. I wonder if I can go over it like a spine. Almost ollied that, I think. I think it's time to do the commit part. I do like that it doesn't move easily. That was kind of scary. All right, I'm starting to get closer. I got the front trucks on pretty good that time, but I bailed. I am chickening out. I need to get full pads on for this, and that's not happening today. I need to come out with a full plan of attack. But so far, I'm pleased. It's more slappy than ride on. Some of my design failure. That's what happens when you just work on the fly. If I had to do it over, I probably would just make it the way I originally intended. Instead of being lazy and using my power miter saw, I would have just cut all my angles by hand with this circular saw. But I think a lot of people could have a lot of fun on this, you know, with slightly better skills. I think before I injured my rotator cuff, I had the skills to do this, but right now, because I haven't been skating, I'm a little chicken. So I'm gonna give a couple more tries, see if I can get any better. If not, we'll end the video and we'll come out with a plan of attack, full pads, and hit this later this week. Oh shoot! I almost feel like I'd ride up and over this. So we're gonna be getting to that at some point. All right, I'm gonna let discretion be the better part of valor here. I am going to do the smart thing, get some more practice on my board this week, get myself a little more comfortable again, maybe come out when it's not 100 degrees out, and start. I think the key is I gotta work my way up. I like hitting it and bouncing off, and I just gotta work my way up now. To be honest, I want full pads on to do it. I'm too sketchy on my board right now. It's been too long. So I like the obstacle. I'm happy with how it turned out. The truck wheel movement platform works great. So it's pretty easy to move. Kind of big for storage, but we'll figure something out there. So I will hopefully be back at this later this week. That doesn't mean the video will be out in a week, but hopefully within a week and a half or so, maybe 2 weeks, I will have a video on just me learning to skate this thing. But as far as the build goes, really cheap. I don't know if I mentioned it, but this marble I got for free. There's a place that does counters here in town, and they had an ad on Facebook Marketplace that basically said, you know, free cutoffs, take what you want type deal. And you know, I went down there and talked to them, told them what I was doing. They showed me the pile of stuff I could take from. I took this in another piece, and so that was no money there. I've got, I don't know, maybe $5 I paid in the wood from the call cart, maybe even not even that, I don't know, not much. So the wood was either free or 75% off, so nothing there really. And then screws I had on hand, so no big deal there. So you would have to buy screws if you didn't have screws. The trucks were free, they were junk, but I use a lot of skateboard trucks for things like this, so moving my tools around and things, but that's fine. Anything else in there? Okay, well, the GoPro died, overheated in this 100-degree weather. So the last thing I wanted to say was the only other thing I bought was a tube of construction adhesive to glue the marble onto the platform there, and that was like $7 or $8. So you know, I got less than $20 in this whole thing, and I think I got a pretty good skate obstacle to learn on and play on. And I guess that's what we'll do next. We will come out and spend an entire session just trying to learn how to ride this thing. So until then, YouTube, later. Yeah, this last bit of the outro was filmed on my iPhone instead of the GoPro because it heat stroked. Later.